Welcome to this week's program. I'm Shannon Loehrke. A bill that would allow alcohol sales on Sunday, a prohibition that's been on the books for more than 150 years, is moving through the House and may be taken up in the Senate. Joining me in the studio to talk about Sunday liquor sales is Senator David Osmek. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Minnesota liquor laws have been eased over the years, including now you can get growlers of beer on Sundays. How confident are you that 2017 is the year for Sunday liquor sales?
I'm pretty optimistic. The changes in the state Senate, of course, the Republicans are now in the majority. We had a lot of no votes turn into yes votes. We had a lot of outstate DFLers that were beholden to other interests and not maybe listening necessarily to the people, because, I mean, from my email and from my phone calls, it's at least 4 or 5, 6 to 1, yes, we would like this. It's a consumer-driven effort, and if you remember back, I've been the guy for 4 years trying to get growlers on Sundays, getting better growler laws so that these small craft breweries can flourish, and they really are in Minnesota. It's providing lots of good jobs and lots of small business opportunities. So I'm very optimistic that we've got the votes. You never know until you get the actual vote, but I'm pretty optimistic.
In past years, opponents of Sunday liquor sales argued that if allowed, liquor sales would be spreading 6 days of sales over 7 days, and then they're losing a day off. How do you respond to those concerns?
I don't necessarily believe that to be true. I believe if a business has an additional day to sell their products, I think you're going to find at least a marginal increase in the amount of product that's actually sold. There's a lot of times where you'll have guests in from out of state or last-minute guests that you want to have a bottle of wine or you want to have something for your guests, and it's a Sunday and you can't buy it. Well, that's a lost opportunity because they're not going to buy it the next day. I think you'll find out, like in Colorado, they opened it up. They used to have the ban on Sunday sales. They opened it up, and my understanding is that their sales went up and their tax revenue went up. So I think that the argument is rather false. I understand that some of these businesses don't want to be open, but there are some that do. So I think they should have the opportunity to make the choice themselves at a business level.
Is Sunday liquor sales about offering flexibility to the consumer or assisting those liquor stores that are open in the border cities where they're losing business because people will cross the border on Sundays to purchase alcohol, or is it both?
It's both. It really is. It's an opportunity for businesses, and really what you've said is really accurate, is that those businesses that are right within 20 miles are suffering every Sunday because it's a fact. The liquor stores in Hudson, Wisconsin have to staff up on Sundays because they have people coming across the border on Sundays. So it's a fact of life, and those businesses are asking for this. But more importantly, I don't think that government should be writing in statute a day off for one specific segment of our society. Why should they have a legislative day off mandated by the state of Minnesota when no gas stations, grocery stores, all of those are open? And I used to go to Moorhead State a long time ago, and I worked at a grocery store in Moorhead. And at that time in Fargo, North Dakota did not allow grocery stores to be open on Sundays. We staffed up on Sundays. We were very busy on the Moorhead side of the border. Well, guess what? After a certain length of time, North Dakota finally figured out, let's just be open on Sunday. The same rule applies.
John Schroeder of Larry's Liquor in Owatonna expressed concern about the Sunday liquor sales in their local paper. He said, quote, "The expenses get bigger. You have to hire someone to be here. Workman's comp goes up, utilities go up, general expenses go up." So are Sunday liquor sales fair to that small liquor store owner whose business expenses will increase, though their revenue may not increase?
Well, the first answer I have is that if you as a business owner know that this is something that's not going to be profitable, then why don't you make the choice to be closed on Sundays? Second, last time I checked, you don't have an exemption on your property taxes on Sundays. You will have some marginal utility increases, absolutely. But do you turn off your coolers on Sundays and your freezers on Sundays? No, you don't. Are there going to be? I've looked at my local liquor stores, and most times they got quite a few lights on. So there's a lot of utilities that they're still expending on Sundays. But more importantly, why don't you as a business owner come up with your own labor model Instead of being open at 9 o'clock in the morning weekdays, why don't you change that to 10 o'clock? Or if you're saying to the government that, well, you're going to spread that sales from Saturday over to Sunday, well, that means you don't need as many people on staff on Saturday, right? See, don't make me come and talk to you about your business model and your labor model. You can figure this out. You're smart. And I trust businesses to make the right decision, not government. That's where this all is.
Is it your intent to leave the decision to the local municipalities? What exactly, you have two bills. What exactly do those bills do?
Right. One of them is wide open, that it treats Sunday just like every other day of the week. The other option that I have on the table is that it's called local opt-out, that local jurisdictions can, by ordinance, opt out. And technically right now, they can make an ordinance right now that opts out from Saturdays. Let's say they don't want to have their municipal open on Saturdays. Well, they can certainly close because municipals have that control. So there are other changes that may be coming in forms of amendments. There may be a distribution that you cannot distribute on Sundays. But every option is on the table. What I want people to do is come to the table and say, listen, why are we treating one tiny sliver of our businesses in Minnesota differently than others, the vast majority of Minnesota businesses? Let them make the decision on their own.
And one last question before we go. Some opponents contend that Sunday liquor sales will increase alcohol abuse in our society. What do you say to that concern?
I don't necessarily totally agree. I understand that you would have more access. That's true. Right now, for my lifetime and years, we have followed former Senator Rod Skoye's direction of just stock up on Saturdays. Well, I don't necessarily see that as a big change. Also, restaurants and bars are open on Sundays. There's plenty of access there. You can get 3-2 right now on sale. Granted, it's not strong beer, and the hard liquor is not available for off sale. We understand that. So I think the open opportunities are still there for the same problem to exist. I just think that it just needs to be something we move into the 21st century on, and letting those businesses make those decisions, especially those small businesses on the border.
Senator Osmek, I want to thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing what the Senate will do.
Thank you. I'm very optimistic, and we'll see if this is the year.